Republican Senator Rand Paul is calling for the firing of Dr. Anthony Fauci. The outspoken scientist has been the go-to medical expert ever since the coronavirus pandemic started. President Joe Biden even picked him as his chief medical advisor. It all comes amid an email fallout. White House correspondent Owen Jensen reports. Owen?
Tracy, good evening to you. President Joe Biden has been a clear and consistent supporter of Dr. Anthony Fauci from the very start. And tonight, the White House still stands behind him despite growing calls for his ouster.
U.S. Senator Rand Paul wants Dr. Anthony Fauci out of his job, tweeting out simply, "Told you," and adding the hashtag #FireFauci. He tweeted a quote that called the doctor a massive fraud. The newly released trove of emails to and from Dr. Fauci makes that abundantly clear. That trove of emails was obtained by CNN, The Washington Post, and BuzzFeed in a Freedom of Information request. Critics say some reveal Dr. Fauci to readily dismiss the notion that the virus could have leaked from a Chinese lab. But the doctor calls that criticism nonsense and says he naturally changes his advice as scientists learn more about the virus.
You're asking a question, would you have done something different if you know what you know now? Of course people would have done that. That's so obvious.
And in the press briefing room, the White House says it stands by Dr. Fauci.
And he's been an undeniable asset in our country's pandemic response. But it's obviously not that advantageous for me to relitigate the substance of emails from 17 months ago.
We're in a position to help others, so we will help others.
Meanwhile, the COVID-19 response team includes a new face, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. The focus, sharing millions of vaccine doses globally to save lives and thwart variants.
Our goal in sharing our vaccines is in service of ending the pandemic globally. Our overarching aim is to get as many safe and effective vaccines to as many people as fast as possible. It's as simple as that.
The U.S. will donate 75% of its unused COVID-19 vaccines to the UN-backed COVAX Global Vaccine Sharing Program. South America, Central America, Asia, and Africa, all on the receiving end. Also today, getting broadband to more Americans. Vice President Kamala Harris said too many disparities exist on tribal lands, including internet access.
Tribes are now eligible for grants that will help improve access to high-speed internet on tribal lands.
Also tonight, former President Donald Trump wrote earlier today, in part, quote, "Now everyone, even the so-called enemy, are beginning to say that President Trump was right about the China virus coming from the Wuhan lab. China should pay $10 trillion to America and the rest of the world for the death and destruction they have caused." At the White House, Owen Jensen, EWTN News Nightly.